starts with breaking news.
That breaking news we are following closely. Smoke and flames erupting from a vacant building. Crews were called to the corner of 72nd and Farnham for smoke in this area just after 1 a.m. Upon arrival, they found heavy smoke and flames coming from the second floor. They also found evidence of squatters inside. A second alarm was eventually issued. Authorities say crews ran into some issues while battling those flames.
Did note that the roof was kind of spongy, getting soft. We had crews up on the roof trying to get a ventilation hole cut. They called crews down from the roof just because of the amount of heat and fire that was on that second floor just under the roof, just for precautionary reasons.
Authorities say it took crews 50 minutes to get fire under control. No injuries, though, to report. Damage totals estimated to be at $60,000. All right, it's good to have you with us as we get started on this Wednesday morning here on our First Alert 6 streaming. I'm Erin Hartley.
I'm Cerise Cole, along with meteorologist Jared Lansford, Senior Chief Meteorologist Rusty Lord. We will be happy to see the sunshine when it finally decides to come out.
Yeah, we're seeing a pretty cool sunrise right now, and the clouds are moving south and out here pretty quickly. So that's some great news as far as that goes, and you can see that sunlight sneaking above the horizon right now. As we're seeing temperatures that have fallen to 57 degrees. This is the coolest we have been in over 2 weeks. Prior to this, we had to go back to about the 8th of September to find anything this cool. It's been a very, very mild stretch of weather, a warm stretch of weather for this time of year. Drop-off forecast, therefore, for the kids, 57 to 58 here as we head towards 8 o'clock, 61 by 9 as the clouds continue to move to the southeast and out of here. And they're doing so at an even quicker pace than I expected. By 7 o'clock, I still thought we'd have at least a pretty good layer of gray around. Already starting to see that sunlight sneak through, so that's some good news. And over the course of the day, we may start to see the muggy meter dip a little bit. By mid to late afternoon, should feel a little bit better as well, taking some of the humidity out. So the deck night forecast, not looking too bad. We'll call it above average just because of the small chance of a shower moving through. Those will go from north to south through the area. And now let me show you what that looks like here. A first alert to a pretty quiet day otherwise. Right near noon, we're in the low 70s. By 2 to 3 o'clock, we're talking about mid 70s. And notice what develops. Any of these little pockets of gray here, these are the puffy clouds that'll go from north to south through the area and likely try to bring a brief shower for a few of us. As you can see, not much on the map. Most of us are likely to stay dry with this round, but it's something to keep an eye out for because we cover a pretty big area, and within that, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a few little green specks on the radar through sunset, and then those will fade away with the setting sun, and overnight tonight will fall off even cooler, down through the 50s into the low 50s by tomorrow morning. And you'll likely want some longer sleeves to start off the day as we'll climb to 82 for the high tomorrow after that cooler start in the 50s. So start of a warming trend today. Tomorrow's muggy meter tries to go up a little bit at times, but may not be too bad also. 3-day forecast shows 77 to 82 to 83 for the rest of the week with a lot of sunshine back in play, and there will be a lot of sunshine for a while.
Okay, looking ahead to the weekend already. The Terrence Bud Crawford Parade is going to be kicking off on Saturday morning. I think a lot of folks want to know, should they bring the shorts? Should they bring an umbrella? What's to prepare?
No need for that umbrella. It's going to be beautiful weather. There's no other way to say it. I think everything's going to be great with upper 60s around 9 o'clock. Parade starts at 10. You can see all the way up towards lunch. Maybe you stay downtown. We're right around 80 degrees for that temperature and warming up a little bit more, maybe a little humid. That's the only thing I could say that might be a little uncomfortable. The muggy meter starts to go up Saturday and into Sunday. Earlier on, it looked like we'd get a little dip for the weekend. That unfortunately now staying a little farther north. We're not getting that dry trend until early on next week. So after today's 77, we have highs in the 80s for a while. 85 on Sunday, the warmest, but every day when Jarrett and I are putting the forecast together in the morning, we're like, okay, we maybe add a degree here, add 2 degrees there. It just kind of slowly going up with not really a fall feel quite yet.
It isn't. The morning, though, this morning feels like fall.
Yeah. That's the thing. The mornings will.
So you get something.
So that's good.
All right. If you're on 80, you're getting something. something else. And it ain't good.
A headache. You're losing your patience probably because we've got some really big delays. And, you know, people who watch us frequently are probably saying, well, you say this every day. It's always slow on 80. Well, it's slower than usual on 80. Let's take a look. And what you're going to see here is that it is pretty much a crawl as you're making your way toward Q Street, Giles Street, where we have that construction in place. Notice how it's just not really moving. You got all kinds of brake lights that are showing up. And the unfortunate thing is we've seen this ripple effect now too. You can see it's slow now coming off of southbound 680. You've got westbound 80 all the way almost to 84th showing some delays as a result of what's going on here westbound near Giles. So some ongoing impacts. You've got L Street even starting to slow down a little bit as people try to make their way onto I-80. So this whole area is starting to see the impacts. It's going to be a good idea to leave some extra time, be ready for things to be very slow as you head through here. And I'd say pick an alternate route. I guess 120th would be an okay option. There aren't great ones through this area to try to get where you need to go to avoid that. Another thing I'm watching here, we've been looking at that fire we mentioned off the top, 72nd and Farnham. Just a little bit ago, we had the crews back on the scene, it looked like, of that area. Looks like they've since left.
Okay.
So we may be starting to see normal traffic returning to that area once again because it had started to slow down quite a bit. Now, remember when you're looking at this map, we have construction already in place just south of 72nd. That's kind of the challenge that I navigate around when I'm trying to tell you about some of this stuff is where is there construction that's already slowing things, and that's what you're seeing with the yellow. This was orange when the crews were on scene, so things have improved. You're getting closer to normal traffic flow for this area. So hopefully we can keep that as the case. That's a very busy intersection that we have at 72nd and Dodge. We look at the full map. JFK's been struggling too, northbound, approaching I-80, back down toward the Q Street area or so. And then, of course, the I-80 mess really stands out here. So actually a lot of slowdowns here in the early going of our morning. We don't have much in the way of crashes that are showing up, but just very slow traffic that's out there. So keep you posted on the latest with it.
And pack your patience this morning.
Yeah.
All right, Jarrett, thank you.
Have him removed right now. You're out. You're not going to remove. You're not going to interrupt this meeting. You're out.
Well, a lengthy and at times heated public hearing before the Omaha City Council. It all centers around Councilman Brinker Harding's proposal to make homeless encampments on public property illegal.
Harding says this is a public safety and health issue that needs to be addressed. The proposal says that people living in camps would be moved to shelters and fined if they don't comply. Some residents don't feel this is a viable solution. Others say something must be done.
No real solution being presented here. It's $300 to people who can't afford it, $30, 30 days in jail, so when you get out, you're just right back in the same situation.
We can talk this thing to death. I think we need to get something done. Let's not kick the can down the road. Let's put forth something that might be bad on somebody's part and use that as a stepping stone into a long-term real solution.
On the matter next week.
Meantime, Mayor John Ewing isn't on board with Harding's proposal. He asked the council to give him 30 days to study the issue of homeless encampments. After that, they would devise a pilot program to bring together all the agencies that help the homeless. They would issue a 7 to 10 day notice before closing down those camps. They'd also help the homeless look for new housing options.
All right, over here at the safety desk with Marie. Cade, produce that many of us eat could be exposing you to more potential toxins than we might think.
I know, not good news here, but this new study is finding eating a lot of fruits or veggies that have higher levels of pesticides that could raise the level of pesticides in your urine. So this study, it's coming from the Environmental Working Group. They compared USDA produce testing with human urine samples, and they found that the more high pesticide produce that people ate, the more those pesticides showed up in their bodies. Now, there are a couple of things that you can do to limit your exposure. The group says you want to try and buy organic items items. Make sure that you're always thoroughly cleaning your produce, and then choose fruits and veggies that have those lower pesticide levels to begin with.
Yeah, I know strawberries have very high pesticide amounts, so you have to be careful. Okay, Marie-Kate, thank you. We're back after this.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Today is a special day because things are slowly going to warm up and not going to feel very fall-like, except for this morning.
Yeah, average highs are in the 70s this time of year, so the morning hours probably got a little crisp feel at times. The afternoon hours are going to feel a lot like summer still. Average high 76 this time of year. You can always find it right there in the bottom corner of the banner if you ever need to see that on this graphic. But we're going to be close to that today, and then beyond that, for the rest of the week into the weekend, warming up. Now 10 degrees above average by Sunday. Clouds clearing out. There's a couple little sprinkles up here. We can switch modes of the radar and show you what that looks like. Up here, they've seen a couple little sprinkles. We put this into motion. Those are moving out of the area for the most part. Maybe a few birds or bugs showing up along the Elkhorn River there. Not much to worry about in that regard. Clouds moving south and out as we look to the east, so we will get quite a bit of sunshine today. Take the 50s this morning, go to 77 degrees for the afternoon high, and have small chance of a shower this afternoon, basically from the new clouds that'll try to pop up. So the morning clouds move out, we heat it up a little bit, and that'll bubble up some new clouds that could give us a couple of showers. If you need to get the yard mowed today, tomorrow, into the weekend, today's just the day you'll sweat the least, I guess is the best way to put it. You'll see warmer temperatures into the weekend, but you can get the yard mowed anytime you need to heading into the weekend. There is no chance of rain. This is through this upcoming weekend, rain potential. And you take it all the way into next weekend and the rain potential, yeah, there is not much to be found. So it's going to be a pretty dry stretch of weather, and even some of this may be a little bit over the top. So where is fall? You can see up to the north, that's where the cooler air is going to stay, and we're looking for the blues to try to drop in, and that doesn't happen through the weekend and likely through a good chunk of next week the way things are looking. So as we show you the start of that 10-day forecast, 82 on Thursday, 83 Friday, 83 Saturday, and up to 85 by Sunday. Sunday keeps looking like the warmest day as of now, but morning lows in the 50s. So like Cerise mentioned, it'll feel like fall in the mornings, but by the afternoon, you get yourself some summer.
You talked about it. We're looking for fall because And that 10-day forecast becomes the end of September and then the beginning of October, which is normally when we're starting to cool off.
And we don't have really any signs of that. The average high by the early part of October is 73, to give you perspective. And that's Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday here at the end of the 10-day. 10 degrees above average there. You even look beyond the first full week of October, leaning heavily towards warmer than average weather, and no real sign that that pattern is going to change up. So we are going to be upper 70s and lower 80s, leaning towards a lot of lower 80s the way things are looking. Hopefully the hammer just doesn't drop and we go from 80s to 40s or something.
That's what I don't want to happen.
And then I'll be mad.
Okay. I'm going to go sit somewhere else.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, I think that map got confused because it's trying to be very festive by being orange.
That's a good point.
Yeah. But it just...
That's not it.
Not quite what we're looking for.
Not quite there.
No. Okay, how's that I-80 situation? Better?
No.
Okay.
Give us some good news,
Holy
guys.
cow, yeah.
Okay, I've got some good news.
Okay.
Here we go. Let's look at that 4 box. Let's look at every other box that's not the top right. Dodge looks good. I did mention a little bit ago we were watching that 72nd and Farnham area for maybe some traffic impacts. Fire crews have left. Everything looks good on 72nd, so no problem there. So that's some good news. All right, let's stop dancing around it here. There's I-80, and you can see all of the delays westbound. Those now getting towards 72nd or so. We're just continuing to see those delays build as you're going westbound. Eastbound, we've got just enough cloud cover that sun glare is not becoming an issue, so that's working in our favor. But a lot of the story here is looking like it's going to be how bad things are on westbound I-80. And this is construction that's happening around Giles that is leading to this, with a lot of people trying to get into this area. So if I zoom in a little bit tighter here, we'll take a look at 120th and see how things are looking. And look at that. It's much smoother here. So it gets a little complicated if you're trying to get to I-80 here with some of the construction in these areas of trying to get back in a smooth manner. But I can tell you, for this stretch of I-80 anyway, 120th is a great alternate route because it's moving along pretty well. It is our biggest issue right now is I-80. Even the JFK showing some signs of the delays easing. Right around the Q area, it's still a little slow northbound, but hopefully that is continuing to improve as well. Also some delays in Benson that you need to watch for, but nothing that's too major there. It's mainly about that I-80 mess. So if you can leave plenty of extra time if you're going to be heading into that area to go westbound, or maybe use that 120th as an alternative to go north and south, that might be your best play to try to avoid that area with the construction that's really slowing things down.
All right, appreciate the heads up. Jared, thank you. More news now. The Omaha City Council took steps to make sure Nebraska's medical marijuana industry doesn't end up in the middle of a neighborhood.
Yeah, proposed ordinance does not regulate the use of marijuana. It does set limits on where medical marijuana can be grown or sold in the city. Now, if it passes, it would align with Nebraska state medical cannabis laws. City Councilman Pete Festerson believes the ordinance is a needed move.
You supported the ballot measure or not, this is something we need to do to be responsible at the city level. And all it does is essentially say, these classifications cannot be done in a residential area, commercial areas where that's appropriate.
City attorney says the goal of the ordinance is to make sure the welfare and the safety of the citizens is kept in place. Happening next week, the Nebraska Medical Cannabis Commission expected to approve permanent rules for the industry.
That's right. Those who led the ballot initiative say the commission is trying to starve the industry before it even begins. Well, the state caps dispensaries at 12. That's 1 for every judicial district. Iowa has 5. South Dakota has 63. As far as cultivators, Nebraska rules allows for 4. South Dakota has 33.
On to your Big Red extra coverage now, starting to finally ramp up Husker volleyball. Tonight, Michigan comes to town to start Big Ten play. Nebraska's coach says her team is continuing to focus on the side of the net.
We want to take it each game at a time, and the goal is to win a Big Ten championship, but that's also not the ultimate goal for this year.
I think everything is still going to be a grind. It's going to be really hard, and we're going to have to win really big matches, and I think it's going to be cool being able to experience the Big Ten with Danny.
I don't think we've played our best volleyball yet this year, so I'm really excited. I think we can make a really big statement starting off here this week.
First serve from Devaney is set for 6. Coming up, more bang for your buck.
Yeah, the jaw-dropping Chipotle deal you don't want to miss when we come back. Well, tomorrow is National Quesadilla Day. Chipotle has been serving free quesadillas all week. I did not know that.
All right, here's how you can take advantage of the deal. You have to place an order, though. Yeah, see? You have to place an order of $20 or more on the Chipotle app or the website.
Okay.
The digital exclusive offer can be redeemed with the code listed up on your screen. The offer can't be combined with other deals, isn't valid on third-party offering platforms. Lastly, customers can't make any add-ons to the free quesadilla.
My jaw isn't dropping anymore. It's a lot of things to do.
Always the fine print.
It's a lot to do.
And their quesadillas aren't that bad. I remember when they blew up during COVID, went super viral, so everybody had to get the quesadilla.
Yeah.
But
And they changed it.
Yes.
Years ago, you used to get the flat, circle or the half circle, and then now they cut it and it's different. So
now I want a quesadilla though, so that works.
So you can get a free asterisk quesadilla.
All right, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us. We're going to get ready for our update in the Today Show. You can watch it here on streaming or over the air.
have a great start to your Wednesday.
Live from WOWT, First Alert 6 starts now.
Good Wednesday morning, everybody. It is 7:26. I'm Cerise Cole.
And I'm Erin Hartley. Let's get an update on traffic this morning with meteorologist Jarrett Lansford.
A new crash to first alert you to. This is on the southbound JFK, just past Cornhusker. You can see how we're starting to get these this area of red. This is actually on the shoulder, so it's out of traffic. But as you're making your way in the approach to that area, be ready for some delays. Not the only issue we have this morning either. Look at I-80 as you're trying to go westbound. All sorts of delays that are in place. That's actually due to the construction that's been there for quite some time right near Giles and Q, but it is backing up well onto I-80 this morning and onto 680 southbound. So be prepared to have delays or maybe use 120th as an alternate route. Rusty.
What on earth is going on? That's been there for months. All right, well, let's show you the temperatures that are out the door right now. We're in the 50s. This is the coolest morning we've had in over 2 weeks as you get up and get started. So you might want some longer sleeves, just a little change up as far as your mornings go. Clouds are dropping down to the south and out of here, so the new clouds that try to develop towards noon and into the afternoon could have a couple spotty showers in them. A small chance. Ultimately, most of us probably stay dry, but I think there's going to be 2 or 3 that try to show up on the map. And with that, sunshine back in play today. We'll go to 77 for the high, which is pretty close to where we should be this time of year. Beyond today, it's all 80. Starting with tomorrow is 82 and 83 for the high on Friday. Erin?
Breaking news we are following. This is the scene of the early morning building fire. Crews called to 72nd and Farnham just after 1 this morning. Authorities say it took crews about 50 minutes to get this under control. No injuries to report, but damage is estimated to be at $60,000.
It is 7:28. We're back with another update for you in about 25 minutes. We'll see you then.